I took Barnieh to Burkina Faso to go and play for 7 months. Eric Beckwith and the rest are nurtured them. And Harrison Alfo, Jordan Opoku, Solomon Asante, so many players. What you do? Yeah, my name is Sackey, Coach Sackey. Yeah, in fact, I don't want to go back because it will be a long story. We went to a course in Winneba in 1999. All national players were asked to go. When after the course, Coach Kenten got a job at United, and because of what I did in the course, he decided I go with him to assist him. So it was United that started a serious lesson. But before that, I've coached so many young teams. So I started my paid rank with United. Another time, Barreto was around, so United was barely my team because Otia Kente was the assistant coach of Barreto. So he left the team for me, and that is where I got the strength and the knowledge of coaching. So they wanted to change Ukwawu head coach for me to take over. So I decided to leave. I left there, and it was Otia Kenten who took me to Feyenoord because he told Kuchade. Kuchade asked him whether he has a coach around. He said, no, near Sackey. He said, if it's near Sackey, then he will want to get me. So he talked to me on Tuesday, and I started Feyenoord on Wednesday. As soon as I got to Feyenoord, Kuchade stopped coaching. And that was when I started pure coaching, youth coaching. I worked for 2 months, and I was asked to start going to do my papers in Europe. So that was every year I go to Holland more than 4 or 5 times to work on pure development. So getting to a time I saw that coaching the youth was going to be my job. So I went through Feyenoord for 7 good years. I worked with coaches like Karim Zito was my assistant directly, with Coach Baba Ali, with the late Atu Hammond, and the late Bright Obeng. We were the 5 coaches who were taking care of Feyenoord. In fact, we did a lot of good job in Feyenoord. So after I took myself, Sule, Mohamed, and then Nuru, Coach Nuru, we took the under-20 to France. And after the France job, I decided to find a job outside Feyenoord because I stayed there for 7 years. And that was when I went to Olympus. The man who took me to Olympus had to leave, so I have to leave too. I went to Mighty Jet because Abu Sindogo asked me to come help him. From there, I went to Heart of Lion because it was only Parkway, and then they wanted to, they were going to Africa, so they asked me to come strengthen the team. I went there, I worked for 6 months, and when we were eliminated from the championship, I decided to come rest a bit. But Coach Zito was there with Midiema, and asked me to come because Moses Parker wanted to open an academy. So he said the best person to call is Coach Sackey. So I left Accra for Takwa. So I had my team in Takoradi, and Coach Zito had his team in Takwa. But we played in the qualifying match, and then we merged the team. So I have to work with Zito at the first division. We played our last match, our last Middle League match at the Accra Sports Stadium against Dwarfs. And that belongs to history. You and I know exactly what happened. So that day I decided I didn't want to coach in Ghana again because what is happening, they will never see the best of coaching. So I decided to go work on a team in Nigeria. They were traveling to Europe. I went to work with them for 2 months. I came back and I had another contract to coach Asfa Iniga in Burkina Faso. So I went there After Burkina Faso, somebody from Burkina also, an old player who played for FC20, Rahim Wadrago, decided he wanted to open an academy. And because most of my players from Feyenoord went to play for Asfai Niga, they won the league 4 times. And he said, if I was part of the team that trained those boys, then it means I have the pedigree for academy job. So he came to Ghana, I asked him to come, so that we sit down and then talk about the job itself. So he came, and then we finished everything. So I moved, 2012, I moved to Bobo de la Sow, Bama to be precise, to open the academy, Raimo Soccer Academy. And in fact, I asked him to give me 3 years. But he said, no problem, he will give me 5 years because 3 years is a small time. But after 3 years, the work we did there was so marvelous that we won almost everything in Burkina Faso. We won the league, we won the FA Cup, we won the best player, the best goalkeeper, we won the champions of champions. And I left, came back to Ghana to rest a bit. And I was called back to Burkina Faso because Asfai Niga, they were not doing well. So I went to augment the team, and then we won the FA Cup in this time. When I came back, I decided I've had too much of my coaching in my coaching, and so I decided I have to come and rest because I'm aging and I want to see this youth play football. So I decided to come to Ghana. When I came, that was the main day I saw my son, Benjamin Echiampong. I live around Pantai. So I saw them train here. As soon as he saw me, he said, coach, whether you have stopped coaching or not, I will never allow you to rest. You have to come, help my coaches, and then help the team. So that is how I got to Avranches. And so I became the technical director of the team and decided to work on it. In fact, we played in the 3rd division. We are now in the 2nd division. We did so well in the first round. We won almost about 90% of our matches. We drew some 5%. We lost about 5%. So we were leading in the first round. But things changed in the 2nd round, and then I think we are coming back to our normal self. So that is the small thing I have to tell you about myself.
Okay, coach. Talking about youth development in Ghana now.
Yeah.
I mean, from the time that you started coaching, what do you think has changed?
The point is that we have 3 types of coaches. We have the coaches who work for 3 points. We have developers who bring the boys from the youth upwards. And then we have the teachers who correct the boys on the mistakes they do. Development is not about, it's about the right information. If you are doing pure development, then it means you have to correct almost every mistake with the boy. Because when you leave him from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and it gets to 15, 16, you can never change it. And that is why we are having problems with the senior teams in Ghana. Because most of them never got the right information and never got the best of coaches. I'm not saying they are bad coaches, but we have developers. When you go to Europe, you see we have developers, we have 3 points coaches, the Mourinho and the rest are all 3 points coaches. But I asked you, Arsene Wenger, you will bring you from nowhere and then he will take you to the top. So these are some of the things like the difference in Ghana. So it is about coaching, and winning matches, losing matches, and drawing matches. But I asked you whether, and when you talk about development, the first thing you have to think about how to develop the individual, technically, tactically, physically, and psychologically. And then when you're able to develop the boy, the individual, then you go into the group in which he operates. When we talk about the operation of an individual, if, let's use numbers, maybe he plays the lateral, the 2, he must be able to combine effectively with the right, with the inside of the, and yes, these are what we call the group. So he plays in the group. And now, the next progression is the team. When the ball is on the other opposite direction, what do you do as a lateral defender, either on the right or left? When the ball is on the right, what do you do as a left lateral defender? So this is what happens. We do with the individual, we do with the group, and then we do with the team as a whole.
There's been a transformation from the period where we had the courts, and now it's about the academy.
Yeah.
What do you think has been the major factor for this transformation? Is it because people said it is better to have an academy to get the kids schooling whilst playing football? The coach system was somewhere like Kubolo people playing football. But people also said that has also caused the downfall of the youth development in football. Do you agree to that?
100%. You see, formally, if you have time for me, I'll explain something. I played also in the Coles team. I played for Ken Harrison Babies. But before you go to the academies, to the Coles teams, you have already gone through the technical aspect of coaching. What is the technical aspect of coaching? It's about control, it's about passing it. Formally, when you started playing, you can go to, two of you can go to your friend's place and then play 2 against 2. That is the training we do now. We do heading, we do passing, we do ball control, we do the gutter to gutter. These are technical things that we learn before we enter into the course this thing. Now, you're talking about academies. Most of the people who call themselves academies, have you gone there to see what is happening there? Even coaches who are developers, who will be able to bring the boys up, are not there. You understand? Now, technically, most of our players in the academies don't even know what to do. It is because the coaches who are should be able to do these things feel now ball control is about. But we have 3 things in soccer: very good ball control, very good passing, and intelligent movement to support teammate or the team at itself. And if you don't do your passing, if you don't do your good ball control, and then you don't intelligently move to support your teammate, how do you play as a team? Now, when you look at Europe, they start from 7-8 years through right information and the right coaches, so that when they get to the top, they will not get problems at all. They're able to look at the teams we have now as academies. We have different formats. These people can play the 6-6-2, the 2-2-1, the 3, but the main team plays a different format. So how do you enter into it like we did in final? Final, our under 13 plays the same format. The under 15 plays the same format. The under 17 plays the full. The premier team plays the same format. So that when you move from the 13, you know exactly what to do in the 15. And that is one of the problems that we are having with the academies. Coles teams at that time had very, 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 very skillful and good players. You understand? But now we pick players. Yes, we pick players. But what I'm saying is that what I'll add to whatever you ask me is that we have to also help the coaches. We have to also help the coaches to get the right information for pure football development. Yeah, let me use Feyenoord as a typical example. Okay. With Feyenoord, we have people all around the country, and they do the scouting, and then we go there to do the final selection. Okay. So that is how we get our players. It's across board. Yeah, we have people all over, North, West, Bronx, Western Central. So they pick, and then we bring them. Sometimes we bring about 1,000 players to Fete. Wow. And then, we pick only 10, 11 players from the 1,000. Wow. So that is how we get our players. But now, most of the people are doing the same thing. They go around picking players and then looking up.
Okay, in your experience as a coach, obviously you might have coached or nurtured some notable players.
Oh yeah.
Can you mention some of them?
Oh, so many of them. So, Eric Beckwe and the rest are nurtured them. And Harrison Afo, Jordan Opoku, Solomon Asante, So many players, too many players. And today you can even see Fatal also came under my tutelage. Okay. So many. If I call and I don't call, some of them will be angry with me. Barnieh, I took him. Barnieh, when the Ghana Football Association blocked that they were not going to play the league, I took Barnieh to Burkina Faso to go and play for 7 months. Barnieh.
During the COVID time?
No, okay. 2019.
Okay.
You know when there was this exposition?
The GFA
problem. Yeah. I took him to Burkina to play for me. I took him.
He was playing for your team?
Yes, he played for my team. And that was when we won almost everything. 2019. They brought him from Kumasi. No, they brought him. Somebody brought him. This Dabo brought him from Kumasi.
Dabo brought him.
Yeah. At that time, myself and Kasim Mingle, now Bechim coach, we were coaching Republicans. So they brought him there, and then, but because they were going to sit down and then nothing, I took him to Burkina to play, to get the form, because I saw something in him. So I decided not to leave him. So I took him, and then he did a good job there, and that was how he came back. He came back, and then he went to House of Folk.
And I know you've coached him. I mean, you know him too well from his beginning. Where do you think he plays better?
He plays directly behind the striker. When you use him directly behind the striker, he has an open space to move. But when you play him at the top, scoring becomes very difficult for him. Because you see, now, the strikers are the main pivot on which almost every team, and then the teams also put pressure on those people. So when you put him directly behind the striker, you put him on the right, you put him on the left, then he can perform so well. I don't know where he's playing now in Switzerland. The position he plays now in Switzerland, I don't know. But these are some of the things that he does well, especially when you allow him to do what he knows best. He's a gunner, at least. But he has a small problem in which people are working on. Goal scoring.
It's finishing.
It's finishing. As if, Mashedada. That is his problem. That is what I fight him every day. John Boy and then Wakaso and the rest were all in the team in 2007 when we went to France. Yaya Mohammed and too many of them. I can't. If I have to call, some people will be angry with me that I never call their names, and that is why sometimes when they ask me questions like this, I try to relax and then talk. Wow.